Hi, I'm Angela and I am known as Stitching Brit here on Flosstube, and it has been a long while since I have filmed. In fact, it's been 3.5 years. So thank you so much if you have still stayed subscribed, and if you have been somebody that has reached out to me and asked if I was ever coming back. Here I am 3.5 years later. Yeah, 3.5 years. There's a big life update coming at the end of this video, but thank you so much to everybody. This community is just so amazing. I have still been watching other people's floss tubes, with new floss tubers posting their videos weekly, monthly. That's been great as well. So I'm really back into my stitching. I have also made a very big decision that I am just going to stick to full coverage designs now. I am not going to go for some of the small ones. I don't really enjoy them. I much prefer my full coverages, and my full coverages are from Heaven and Earth Designs. And today, like I say, I'm going to do a WIP parade. I'll go through all my projects and tell you where I'm at with them. I have got some really big plans for this next year where, yeah, even I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing? But it's all part of the fun, isn't it? I really love the stitching process. I have finished one Heaven and Earth design, a Story Keep Paris. Story Keep Life is an Open Book Paris. And I felt like, I guess, a bit deflated when I'd finished. I was like, oh, it's finished now. So I really love the stitching process. I am not worried about how many I've got on the go. For me, it's about seeing the picture come alive. So all that being said, let's get started with the WIP parade, and forgive me if I look down at my notes. I just need to see what the stats are. So the first one that I started was Mini Virus Detected, and that is by Randall Spangler, and I started that on the 18th of July 2020. It is 20 count 2 over 1, and I've done roughly 25%. And the reason why I say roughly is because a few years ago I was working on it with Pattern Keeper, and then Pattern Keeper crashed and lost every single stitch of progress. It just went completely blank. I had to upload the chart again. Obviously that was blank. So I'm still needing to go through and mark off all the stitches. I've done quite a lot of it, but not, I just want to make sure I've done all of it. So yeah, about 25% on that one out of 85,500 stitches. And here it is. Let me show you what it looks like. So this is what that one looks like, and this is where I got up to. So yeah, I haven't worked on it obviously for a long time because I was just so annoyed at what happened with Pattern Keeper. But this was my second ever full coverage design that I started. So that was that one. My next one was Ornament Healing Rose. Let me find that actually while I'm telling you about it. This one is by Carol Cavaleris. Gorgeous rose there. And this one I started on the 24th of June 2020. It's 18 count 2 over 1. This was before I knew about gridding pens. So I literally gridded this with like a very fine fishing line. And oh my goodness, I just vowed after that, never ever again. So yeah, 18 count 2 over 1, 12,273 stitches out of 49,210, and it's currently at 24.94%. And it is here. I hope the lighting's okay. I'm filming in a different location. So I hope the lighting is okay. Let me know if it isn't. Yep, so that's that one. The third one is Mini Mountain Cabin by Dominic Davison, which is this gorgeous piece, the mini version. And this one is, like I say, by Dominic Davison, started on the 10th of September 2020. I'm also 18 count 2/1. This was like pre-gridded fabric, and I've done 8,541 stitches out of 75,075, and I'm at 11.38%. And here it is. So I have tried all sorts of different stitching methods. So even though it was on gridded fabric, I've actually gone over with my fabric pen and just gone over the gridding lines. I just find that easier. So I think I started this one as colour completing. But yeah, love it. And I've got from one end to the other as well. So that was that one. Now then I started Quick Stitch Spirit of Winter Robin. This one is by Ciro Marchetti, if I've said that name right. And that is this one here. Beautiful design. And again, I have started all sorts of different stitching methods with this one. But this one was started on the 8th of December 2020. It's 20 count 2/1 pre-gridded fabric. It's got 7,926 stitches out of 39,587, and it is at 20.2% done. And here it is. So just love that you can see the start of the robin. Like I say, I have done many stitching methods on this, and I will share with you what I'm going to do moving forward. And just so you know, I will never be ironing my projects before filming a Flosstube. A, it will remove the fabric pen that I use, and B, I just don't have the time for that. So that is that one. The next one is Story Keep New York. So you heard me say at the beginning that I completed my first Heaven and Earth design, which was Story Keep Life is an Open Book Paris. I then requested for New York and London to be put into Story Keep size, so that I could stitch both of them as well. So the first one that I started was the New York version, and this is by Amy Stewart. I started it on the 13th of December 2020, which was my birthday. It's 18 count 2/1 because I did the Paris one on 18 count fabric, and it's currently got 6,121 stitches out of 50,575, and it's at 12.10%. And with this one, here it is. I was doing the Royal Rose method of stitching, but I have completely changed my mind about doing that. If anything, I felt it was really quite slow. So that is where that one is. And then the next one was World Travel Bookshelf by Amy Stewart. Not sure if I said the New York one was also by Amy Stewart. That one I started on the 1st of January 2021. It was started on 20 count 2/1, and I'd actually done 20,862 stitches, which was 5.13%. But I wasn't really enjoying the fabric, and I thought I'm at 5%, so I have decided to restart it on 22 count 1/1 fabric. I have seen Anne, the Max Colour Stitcher. She has stitched so many of her projects on 22 count, and it just looks so amazing. I've never tried 22 count. I do have a project on 22 count, loving it. So yeah, I've decided to restart it. I'm going to restart it this July, and when I've restarted it, I will show you when I've restarted it. but I just didn't think there was any point in carrying on with fabric I just didn't like. So that was that one. Then after that, I started Story Keep Beach Bliss by Amy Stewart. Sorry, the light has just got very, very dark. It's in the UK. It is really quite warm. We are not built for warmth and heat and everything. Yeah, anyway, hopefully the sun will come back out. But anyway, Story Keep Beach Bliss, Amy Stewart, started on the 6th of May 2021. It started on 20 count 2 over 1, and this time I didn't get the pre-gridded fabric. I just brought like plain fabric and gridded it myself. It's currently got 3,094 stitches out of 96,425, and it's currently at 3.21%. So this is this one. It is this one. Really, really lovely piece. Reminds me of being at the beach as a child throughout my school summer holidays. I went to the south of France and just basically lived on the beach. Not quite lived on the beach, but yeah, just every single day we went to the beach. So that's what that one reminds me of. And for anybody that doesn't know, a story keep is a section of normally a regular or a super sized size chart with Heaven and Earth. That's like a little portion of that chart. So that's what that is. And this is my start. I have just about reached the other side. It's going to be quite a long piece, but not so wide. So yeah, really looking forward to getting more of that one done. And then after that one, I started Mini Sunflower Cottage. This was a sale at the time that was going around, so like a stitch along, that's what sale is. And I joined that but didn't really get very far. But this is by Donna Gelsinger. This is that beautiful coloured chart that you've probably seen lots of people stitching. And like I say, by Donna Gelsinger, started on the 24th of May 2021, 20 count 2 over 1, and I've done 8,413 stitches out of 56,355, so I'm at 14.93%. And here it is. Just looks gorgeous. That blue at the top is just gorgeous. So yeah, quite a good size as well. So again, can't wait to get back to these ones I haven't stitched on for a while. And then after that was Mini Checking It Twice, again by Donna Gelsinger. You'll see the theme that I like. Donna Gelsinger, Amy Stewart, Lars Stewart, Randall Spangler. Yeah, there's quite a theme. So Mini Checking It Twice, which is this one. And when I stitched on it previously, I was stitching on it, well, I started it on the 31st of May 2021, and I had done about 12%, but again, I really didn't like the fabric. It was like, had like a sparkle to it, and again, just wasn't enjoying it. Knew I wouldn't be able to iron it because the sparkle would melt. So I restarted it. In June, this June, 17th of June 2026, and I have restarted it on 25 count 1 over 1. And all of these, by the way, are full cross. Every single one of my pieces are, yeah, full cross. I have done 2,116 stitches, and I am at 3.35% and definitely much happier with this. So that is where I have got up to. And a majority of the chart fits into this large Nurge frame. So really happy, yeah. And I'm really actually enjoying stitching on 25 count. What I've realised is I've started projects on 25 count before, but it's been the like easy grid 25 count. I don't like the easy grid fabric. That's what I don't like. So having 25 count and me putting my own grid on is much, much better for me. So that is that one. And then I started Heart Melt by Donna Gelsinger. So this one is a cropped version. So this is what the full design looks like. But then I cropped it to much smaller. So basically just the penguins and the heart. I just literally cropped it to that. And this one is started, like I say, started on the 31st of May 2021, 20 count 2/1. It's got 6,986 stitches out of 64,800, and it's at 10.78%. And this is where we're at. And I think just here is where the penguin goes. And I have made I've made a promise to myself about not starting the penguin. When I come on to plans, I will tell you about how I'm going to stitch these projects, so that will dictate when I start the penguin. But yeah, just really like in that corner, lots. I didn't want to do all of the background, which is why I cropped it again. Not a bad size. Yeah, so that is that one. Then I started, I just need to turn the page. Got so many different pages of notes to share with you. So then I started Quick Stitch April Fairy by Hannah Lynn. I started this on my birthday in 2021 on the 13th of December. And this is what this one is like. I know I've seen Stitchin Mummy, Sarah Stitchin Mummy, she's stitching on this. I'm not sure if I've seen anybody else. I am doing on this gorgeous pink. It's 20 count 2/1, 5,096 stitches out of 70,875, and I'm at 7.19%. And this is where I'm at. So nearly at the end. I think that's another thing I like about gridding out my fabric. I know exactly how far away I am from the end again. Not a bad size. So yeah, not very much to see, mainly the hair. And a little bit, I think, of the butterfly coming in there. So that is that one. Then I started the Story Keep London, Life is an Open Book London by Amy Stewart, the Story Keep version. I started that on the 1st of January 2022. And this one is this one. Yeah, really, really pretty. And this one has got, it's 18 count 2/1. Again, like I said, I'm doing all of the like what I call the series of them on 18 count. It's got 7,200 stitches out of 53,250, and it's at 13.52%. And again, I have done this one with the Royal Rose method. I'm definitely not going to be carrying on with that with this piece either. But again, really, really good. Loving the detail in there. There's a lot of different greens, I can tell you that much. But yeah, really loving the detail. So that was that one. And then I started Mini Deer Creek by Donna Gelsinger. And this is this one. Where can I find it? I will pop a picture in because I don't have a picture here, but I will pop a picture in. But I think lots of Flosstubers have stitched it. I know Darren at Dizzy Stitcher, I'm sure it's Dizzy Stitcher, has stitched it. I'm trying to think who else. I've seen a few, so you've definitely seen this one. This, like I say, I'll put a picture in here of what it should look like. And this is where I am at, almost at the end again. Done this one in Royal Rose, not going to carry that on with the Royal Rose. Yeah, so that's the start of that one. And this one it's on 20, so I started it on the 13th of December 2022 on my birthday again. Are you noticing a theme? 20 count 2 over 1. It's got 4,200 stitches out of 78,000 and it's at 5.38%. And then my next one that I started was called Story Keep. Cooking for Your Dragon, which is another cropped one. This is by Randall Spangler. So this is from one of the book series. He's got like a dragons book series. So that's what the full design is. And then this is what my cropped design is going to look like. Basically the dragon, the cookies and the chocolate. And this is where I'm up to. So I think it goes down to about here. So I'm just about to get started on the dragon, which is great. It's also not very wide as well. I just had this piece of fabric and I thought, well, I will start this on it. So this one is... It started on the 13th of January 2024. It's 20 count 2 over 1. It's got 2,519 stitches out of 18,000. So it's my smallest full coverage piece because I've cropped it. So it's at 13.99%. And then my second from last piece, my next piece is the Vintage Knitting and Crochet by Amy Stewart. This one's got a very, very, very small start on it. This is, let me show you what it looks like. This is this one. Very colourful, very, very colourful. And I have literally got the tiniest of starts, which is just that corner, literally just that. So my hair's sticking up. So this one was started on the 23rd of February 2024, 20 count 2 over 1. Again, I've gridded the whole thing. It's got 489 stitches out of 350,700 and it's at 0.14%. And I think it was about around that time that I kind of stopped stitching for a long while. And it's only been in the last couple of months I have picked stitching back up again. Again, all will be explained in the live update at the end. So I have just got one more project to show you, which is, let me get the image. So this is all Max Colours. Why won't it let me pick it? Always the way, technology. There we go. So this is the Max Colours All Seasons Flower Shop. My very first Max Colour piece, but it won't be my last. So this one was started on the, I think it was the 2nd of July this month. So only just a couple of days ago. It's by Lars Stewart. 22 count 1 over 1. Like I say, I've been watching a lot of Anne Max Colour Stitches and I just decided to start this piece on 22 count because of her. I'm also doing the exact same stitching method, which is 10 by 10 square, left to right, and just really doing the top row, but stitching if necessary into the second row with that thread and then parking in the third. And I know she got that method from Sarah, the Stitching Mummy. So I think, and the reason why I like that style of stitching is because each of the row finishes can be like a mini finish. So, and where I have so many projects and I'm planning to add more projects, for me, I'm going to really look forward to doing it like that. So yeah, 686 stitches out of 325,350, 0.21%. And tiny little start in the corner. So this is basically the roof. I'm basically going to be stitching the roof. So I will get to the very end of the row before coming down and stitching into row 2. But that's where I'm up to. Brand new start there. So that is all of my current projects. So next I want to talk about my plans. So as I said, I've got really big plans for 2026. I am planning on starting a brand new project at the beginning of every single month for the next year. Heaven and Earth Designs had a sale recently over the last few days. I have got all of my projects. I've got them, I've purchased them, they're all on Pattern Keeper. All I need to do is get material for all of them and serge the edges and make sure I've got floss for all of them, but I'm just doing one at a time. So I'm going to start a brand new one every single month. I've already got those planned in depending on what the month is, what project it's going to be, because it kind of links, the project I've chosen linked to that month in some way, which I will explain. So with All Seasons Flower Shop, I just thought that was a really bright one. It's June, it's really bright here in the UK summer. Loads of people have got their flowers or doing their garden. Yeah, just for me that just said June, so that's why I started that one. And then the very first Flosstube of every single month, so that will be today, I am going to do a wheel spin for a 2,000 stitch project. So my new start is going to get 5,000 stitches in a month. Then I'm going to do a wheel spin of my current projects to do 2,000 stitches. And then the third thing is, a bit like Anne, I am going to do 5 wheel spins for 500 stitches Monday to Friday, and I'm going to just see how that goes over the month. So because I've got 16 WIPs currently, yeah, 16 WIPs, my projects will get seen sort of every 3 weeks at the minute, but my 5,000 start project, that won't go into the wheel this month, that will go into the wheel next month. So I hope that makes sense. Don't think, oh yeah, one other thing. So I'm also going to be restarting the World Travel bookshelf. I don't think I showed you what that one looks like, so let me show you now. So this is World Travel Bookshelf. So I'm going to be starting this on 22 count 2/1 fabric. I've also got 2 more new starts that I was planning before I even came up with all of this. So they're going to be started at some point in July. And the moment they are started, they are going to go into each of the wheels as well. They're not going to be, I'm not going to wait to add them to next month. I will add them this month. And also those 3 projects, so World Travel Bookshelf and the 2 new ones I'm going to start, they are going to be like backup pieces every single month. So if I get all my stitching done for the week, then I can choose one of those pieces and stitch on. So they're going to be like the 3 backup pieces, as well as being in the 500 wheel and the 2,000 wheel. So yeah, so I think that's explained. Okay, you will see as we go through. Gosh, very, very warm currently. But anyway, let's get to the wheel spins. So this is for my 2,000 stitches wheel spin. And obviously you've just seen all my projects, so I'm not gonna show you those. But I have got all of my charts in here. So I'm just gonna press. And it has come up with Ornament Healing Rose. So Ornament Healing Rose is obviously one I started 6 years ago. And yeah, I'm really pleased that that's going to get 2,000 stitches, because that really does need some work on it. And then let's go to the 500 stitches. So we need to do 5 spins for this. So this is, each project is going to get 500 stitches on these. So this one is for Monday. Mini mountain cabin, fabulous. Tuesday. Story, keep cooking for your dragon. Brilliant. Wednesday. So this is World Travel Bookshelf. Amazing. So I can get that one started. This is Thursday. Mini Deer Creek. Again, fabulous that it's getting some work on it. And the last one for Friday is Mini Sunflower Cottage. Brilliant. So have I done 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, I have. So yep, love that. So I will, like I say, I'll be converting every single piece that I am doing to the sort of typewriter method, left to right, a 10 by 10 block, left to right, and then working across the top row. So I'm going to convert every one of my projects to that. I'm also contemplating doing maybe some extra stitches so that I can get to the 500 or the 1000, because again, I know Anne, Max Colour Stitcher, she does that, and I really like that idea. So yeah, so that's going to be my stitching. So I will be back next Sunday. For anybody that was just here for the stitching, thank you very, very much. And again, really pleased to be part of this community and to have so much support and to have people still subscribed even after all this time. So yeah, really pleased. So for anybody that is here for the life update, I am going to keep it quite brief. Sorry, I am literally melting. That, yeah. Okay, so I think I last stitched, like I say, 3.5 years ago, so January 2023, and I did share this in a previous Flosstube, but in September 2022 I sadly had a miscarriage from round number 6 IVF. So we got pregnant, had a miscarriage. Later in 2024, so I filmed, like I say, I filmed January 2023. So later in 2023 we did another round of IVF, which was sadly that didn't work at all, and I was left I was left feeling really depressed, really you know, my whole life I thought I was going to have children, and I came out with no children. And we looked down the surrogacy route, and I know for the UK that is extremely expensive. You pretty much have to remortgage your house for that one, which we didn't have because we've put every single penny into our IVF journey. We were renting. So yeah, 2023 was a bit of a write-off because of that. 2024, our landlord just put up our rent astronomically. The price of rent was just going up massively in the area, and even though he put the rent up quite a bit, our that rent was just very slightly cheaper than all our other local houses. So we thought it was the best to stay, and basically we ended up for 2 years we ended up just working. Every single hour we were working to pay the bills, and you know, when you know that it's not right but you don't know what else to do, it's kind of, it was like that. So anyway, that sadly broke our relationship, and we ended an almost 10-year relationship in January this year, and I have had to move back in with my mum. Having said that, my mum really does need me right now. She needs an urgent hip replacement. She's waited 19 months on a waiting list that should only have been 9, and she's just in agony, so she really does need me right now. So it's a win-win for both of us. So because of that, not been in a good place at all to be stitching or anything, but being back here and just, I don't know, just feel like I'm starting to get get everything back to where it was. And stitching, it really regulates me, so that is why I'm back into it. Miss filming the Flosstube, so I wanted to come back to that. And certainly with my ex, we are slowly rebuilding, because we didn't break up because of lack of love. It was, we just were pushing ourselves to the limit to try and earn money, and our relationship broke down in that. So yeah, that's basically the life update. any further developments on my relationship with him, I will keep you updated. But at the moment it's a very, very, very slow rebuild, and we just need to get ourselves in a good place. So that's basically the life update. I'm going to be back here. I'm hoping to film every Sunday and post every Sunday evening. So you will have that every Sunday evening. And like I say, I will come back every week and do my 500 wheel spins. But my 2,000 stitches and my 5,000 stitches will be the same for the month. So thank you so much for being here with me, and if you haven't already, if you could hit that subscribe button. If you've got any questions about any of my projects below, please ask them below, and I will see you next week. Happy stitching.